Hey, it's a Tuesday, November, I don't know, 29th or something like that. We're going to get into more poetry things. If you're at home watching this, you're in luck. Today's poem will be somewhat entertaining, I think. We should have fun with it. And let's see, from there we'll get to a thing and do a thing and a thingy thing. All right, let's see, Christmas lights, if you bring them in, does get you the 3 B points. I don't recommend ripping them off your own house, but if you were to go to your neighbor's house with a hammer and randomly break a couple of them, and then you can help offer to recycle them afterwards, that's just being neighborly. And then you can bring them in and get points. And then no one to torture there, and then we're going to get to the poem here in just a moment. We'll practice that together. No one to torture, no one to torture, people to torture. So we'll practice this. We're going to do it twice. Once with big screen behind me, then once without big screen behind me, and then we're going to pick on 3 of you to get a chance to stand up and get points. And if no one volunteers, then we get to randomly pick people, which makes it even better. Okie dokie. We'll practice going through doing it together, and we have...
For the simile, like or as you shall see, but with the metaphor, use them no more. The comparing of 2 nouns is what you will do.
Did we stumble over the nouns part a little bit? Now we'll see. Now we do without the big words behind and flip paper down so we can't try and cheat.
I didn't write on there. Oh, I didn't write that.
Good job. Those of you who didn't do the work, you're like, Mr. Brovicast, I was lazy. I already beat you.
No, mine's in my notebook blank pages.
Okay, I was just checking. I thought you were bragging about your laziness. So we have...
For the simile, like or as you shall see, but for the metaphor, use them no more. The comparing of 2 nouns is what you will do.
Home children, we're going to pause it because you don't get to watch the kids cry. You just have to use your imagination. We're back. Hi, we're again. Don't worry about that other thing that happened a second ago. There was a kid that was crying and it was embarrassing and we were just trying to help them out. All right, let's see. Back to here. Let's see. Double checking your knowledge-y bits. What's the stanza?
Paragraph in the poem.
Nicely done. How do you know when the stanza ends?
Because it's a big white line.
It doesn't be any color line, but yes, the big line works for me.
But we have a wet paper.
How many stanzas in this one?
2.
6. 9.
I was just saying how well you guys remember from there. What is the speaker in a poem?
The character that's speaking.
And then we got to this poem. As we went through, let's double check. We had, what was our, one of the big things I'm going to keep doing with you guys with poems is evidence. So make sure you keep pulling up evidence. What was our evidence as to the gender?
Old bachelor.
Okay, what's a bachelor?
Old man who's not married.
There you go. You're a bachelor and you're not an old man yet. And so we have our bachelor. Our evidence as to what the bachelor looks like?
Beard, long beard.
It doesn't say beard, so what's your evidence?
No shaving.
There's the no shaving. That's your evidence. Then from that, you can then figure out that no shaving means beard.
Or a mustache.
Or a mustache, or a little bit of both.
Or hair.
Then we get to, evidence as to job.
Minor.
Because of the
Again,
you can't jump, it doesn't say minor, you have to find evidence.
And the picks and shovels.
Now, using picks and shovels, what is it you think the job is? That's where that one comes in. And then we get to evidence as to how they keep their house.
Messy.
No, guys. Like
Oh,
the
wait a
tracks
minute.
and the clutter on the shelves means that it's messy.
Don't make Cora have to sash you.
Or more than halfway clean.
And there you go. So again, this evidence thing, we have to use actual information in there, not just how you feel. And then we got to here. This is the girl. What is it? This is not evidence. What is it the girl's doing that bothers them?
Cleaning the house.
Now to the evidence. What 2 specific things she has changed from first stanza to second that is in the bothering area. Just say, all right, Caleb.
She made them build a shed for their tools.
Building a shed is 1. Stretchy.
Having like a formal dinner.
Works for me. There's where the formal dinner thing comes in. And then, hiccup. Who was the speaker?
Grumpy.
And who was the girl?
Snow White.
Nicely done. So there was the Snow White, and then the grumpy bits, and we got to the evidence about why he doesn't hate her.
Yes.
And what was the evidence?
Because I'm afraid I hurt your feelings.
Just like me trying not to hurt your feelings, ish. And then we got to this word.
Alliteration. She scrubs, she sweeps.
And what's the definition of alliteration?
It's the same.
She.
Multiple words in a row that starts with the same letter.
Someday, Groffle, I have a dream where you're going to actually listen to the question before you yell at me. I don't know when that dream's going to come true, but I'm not going to give up dreaming. But nicely done. Now, we get to tackle a longer poem that's going to require a bit more thinking into you guys. It's our poem about an insect.
It goes into a butterfly.
What's weird is that I hear your question, but my brain processes it as, what is it?
Caterpillar. So now, you guys are going to get a chance to read, and we're going to pick 6 of you who are going to get a chance to read a stanza. If you are wanting to call dibs, that's fine. As we go through, you're more than welcome to call dibs on a stanza. If no one called dibs on a stanza, I get to look into your hearts to see who is going to call dibs from there. And then you're going to be reading the stanza probably like 3 times total, just to give you a heads up. Because we're going to read the whole thing together, and then as we go through it, you're going to have to read it, and at the very end, we're going to read it. So you're going to have to read the stanza 3 times to make sure you're prepared for yourself. All right. So, do we have a volunteer for stanza 1? Gussie. Mark, stanza 1 is yours. You own that one. Stanza 2? Caleb. Stanza 2. You own that one. 3? Cora, you own that one. 4, Smithy. Oh, and we get to stanza 5, Jadely. And our final one, 6. Do I get to? And Christian. Nicely done. Oh, that was all 6 of them. Go, you guys there.
He didn't call you Steve.
Oh, my name's Steve.
I apologize, Stephen.
Like,
you are correct.
You could have like Steve from Minecraft.
I don't think that's going to be quite as helpful to help me remember it as you think, but I am aware of Steve from Minecraft. I'm also aware of Steve from my class. And I apologize for misnaming you. That was very embarrassing, Steve. All right, so I'm going to have you guys read it the whole way through. As we do, your goal is just sort of understand poem. And then we're going to break down things that go into poem. Didn't mean to scare you. All right.
I don't want
You didn't even pick the heart stanza. That was Wyland. Wyland took the heart stanza.
Make fun of me.
Well, dear, you can sit there quietly doing everything perfectly, and they're still going to attack you. It's what this class does. They're full of haters.
She never does anything perfect.
And stanza 1. Let's begin.
Under this loop of honeysuckle, a creeping colored caterpillar, I gnaw the fresh green hawthorn spray. I nibble it leaf by leaf away.
2.
Down beneath grow dandelions, daisies, old men's looking glasses. Rooks flap, croaking across the lane. I eat and swallow, and eat again.
Here come
Again.
raindrops, helter skelter. I munch and nibble, unregarding. Hawthorn leaves are juicy and firm. I'll mind my business. I'm a good worm.
And 4.
When I'm old, tired, melancholy, I'll build a leaf green word I don't know how to say.
Hang on. You got at least. You're gonna butcher it because no one else.
And I don't know how to say.
Mausoleum
Actually, that's really well. Yeah.
slows by here on this lovely spray and die and dream the ages away.
Nicely done. I told you that had the tough words in it. Although stanza 5 has one more tough word coming in. I saw you, Wally. Nicely done. Stanza 5.
Some say words win resurrection, with white wings beating flitter flutter. But winks or sound sleep, why should I care? Either way, I'll miss my share.
Yay. Stephen.
Under this loop of honeysuckle, a hungry, hairy caterpillar, I crawl on my high and swinging seat, and eat, as one ought to eat.
Nicely done. So I'm going to read through it just once quickly, just so we can hear it, and then we're going to break down the first stanza and try to figure out what goes into it. Under this loop of honeysuckle, a creeping colored caterpillar, I gnaw the fresh green hawthorn spray. I nibble it leaf by leaf away. Down beneath grow dandelions, daisies, old man's looking glasses. Rooks flap croaking across the lane. I eat and swallow and eat again. Here come raindrops, helter-skelter. I munch and nibble unregarding. Hawthorn leaves are juicy and firm. I'll mind my business. I'm a good worm. When I'm old, tired, melancholy, I'll build a leaf-green mausoleum close by here on this lovely spray and die and dream the ages away. Some say worms win resurrection with white wings beating flitter-flutter, but wings or a sound sleep, why should I care? Either way, I'll miss my share. Under this loop of honeysuckle, a hungry, hairy caterpillar, I crawl on my high and swinging seat and eat, 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 as one ought to eat. The most beautiful caterpillar poem ever.
Fat caterpillar.
All right. Then, let's start breaking it down into little bits.
My least favorite part.
It's just learning. You guys are so scared. So, step one, you're right. There is alliteration already.
I know.
Where is our alliteration already?
Leaf by
Creeping colored caterpillar. Now we're going to go through and do little learning bits. Like one, understanding what words are. Honeysuckle. Do you know what a honeysuckle is?
It's like a leaf
Yeah,
blower,
that's
right?
like it's like a leaf, a plant.
Good job.
Now, if you didn't know that, are there clues in poem to help you? Or did you guys just know it?
I guessed.
You guess.
It's a caterpillar.
I don't know.
I listened to what everyone else said. I said what they said.
Way to steal other people's answers, but way to steal them loudly. And so a lot of us trying to pick up on those clues that are in there. So if you don't know what honeysuckle is, it is a type of plant thing. And the reason why it is called honeysuckle,
It tastes like honey.
it does. To give you guys a quick story from my own childhood, a honeysuckle, these little plant looks like it has a little funnel on it, and when the pollinators, bees, come to them, it actually drops some like the little bee pollen in there, and they are supposed to taste like honey. You can literally pluck off the funnel, and you can go, and you can suck on the end of it, and it's supposed to take little gooey stuff that's supposed to taste like honey. I got tricked into it when Hey, you're back!
Yep.
All right.
Alright, Christian, hi.
I have Steve, yes? Sorry, we had a delivery.
I have a lot of anger build up.
Interesting.
But anyway, I got tricked into it when I was a kid from my grandma, and she convinced me to pluck one off and then eat it because she thought it was like candy. Because apparently before we had actual candy, this is what old people would eat, was random plants, and it tasted awful. In case you ever get a chance to just randomly eat flowers, I don't recommend it. Smithy?
At my old house, we used to have, like, in our neighbor's yard, they had this honeysuckle thing, and it was, like, growing over the fence, so, yeah, it tasted...
Did you pluck them and eat them?
Yes.
Did they taste like honey?
Yes.
Do you like honey?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't. That's part of my issue, too. I thought it tasted
You don't like
disgusting.
honey?
I don't like honey.
You're kind of weird.
I've never had honey, and I don't think I'll ever
Judge
try
Freeze
honey.
Our next one, hawthorn spray.
Flower.
Any
Is that like
evidence?
bug spray?
Bug spray?
Perfume.
Fresh green.
Leaf.
Wally,
It's a leaf.
where's your evidence?
Because it says I nibble at leaf by leaf alone.
Nicely done. And it's not like a spray you use to keep your cat off furniture, but it's supposed to look like it sprays out from the plant, so it's called a spray as opposed to just like a leaf. So it's like a magic plant spray, and it formed into a leaf. It's supposed to be called a spray from there. And then we get to that. Brycely, the next thing we'll get to from there is our speaker in the poem. And who is our speaker in the poem? You're not Brycely. Don't steal his answer. It's going to make him sad.
My neck. The caterpillar.
Is correct. And that's where our caterpillar comes in as the speaker, telling about the different things he's doing. And then, so far, our caterpillar has one hobby. And what is his hobby?
Eat.
Now, it never says the word eat. So where is your evidence?
Because
Nibble.
it says he nibbles.
Nibble. And?
Yeah.
Yummy.
Nicely done.
Eat.
And in the last stanza it says eat, eat,
It
eat.
says eat. It doesn't say yummy. That was
It
your own
says
thought.
eat. It says eat.
Nah.
It says
Nah,
eat.
nibble.
Oh, wait, that's in different stanza.
Ta-da.
Whoopsies.
It was fun having you yell at me, though. So yes, the fact that our caterpillar is nom-nom-nomming as he eats it, and his only real hobby so far is just eating leaves, and that is it. Stanza 2, we now get to introduce a danger into caterpillar world.
What?
It says eat in stanza 2.
Right. Now that we're in stanza 2, that makes a little bit of a difference to help you guys out from there. Also, as I read it, there is a word that might throw you guys off because how I pronounce it is different than how you guys pronounced it.
Less assistance.
So make sure you guys see you can figure out why.
Dandelion.
Down
Again.
beneath grow dandelions, daisies, old man's looking glasses, rooks flap croaking across the lane. I eat and swallow and eat again. And so, why say it as again?
Because it rhymes.
There you go. Not because I'm fancy, although I am, but it's because it has to do the rhyming with lane. And then the thing we're going to learn on Thursday is rhyme scheme, which in theory you guys should know.
People from the country said it like.
And we're going to learn about people from the country. And no, that's not how. And so that's the lane. And ooh, speaking of our country people, if we were to switch the lines and it said, I eat and swallow and eat again, rooks flap croaking across the
Lynn.
is correct. You would pronounce that one as Lynn.
Wait, actually?
Mm-hmm. Oh. That's how you'd have to do it. You thought you were being sassy, and you got it correct.
One fish, blue fish, red fish.
Let's break down our things. What's a dandelion?
A flower.
It's a type of shark.
I like the fact that you guys think it's a flower.
It's a weed.
It's a right. It's a weed. It's a weed that just happens to have a flower. Wait, that's a weed?
So,
Yes.
this is an example of
Oh, right. So it
dandelion.
turns into the white thing.
And every time I talk about this, I'm going to show you a picture that for some reason seems to blow some kids' minds. And it seems to never fail that at least one kid gets freaked out by it. This is a dandelion. This is a dandelion.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're the same thing.
Yes. Because that's what I think when dandelion, not the yellow thing.
I'm aware, but this is one of the first times ever I've not had a kid go, you're full of lies. Last grade, I had 4 kids who almost fell out of their chair because they say,
I think
and so
the white
kids
thing.
have no idea they're the exact same plant. It starts off like this as little baby flowers, and then eventually
It gets old and crippled.
Old and loses its hair.
it
I don't think a flower can be a
that hurts, but yes. And then closes, and then eventually becomes
This is why you're
Old.
wrong direction.
Old.
Right, there we go. That one, and then that's the one when you pluck it and then you blow all its hair off and it becomes bald.
It's not
And
hair,
then we just toss it
actually.
aside.
It's a seed. And then we just toss it aside.
They're the same, yes. As we all know, once something is bald, it's useless and we throw it to the side. Ouch, I'm right here. And so that's how the whole
You're
process
not bald.
works.
He's going to be. You have hair
He's
still.
useless.
We don't know, that could be a wig.
Alright, and then we get to daisies. What's a daisies?
Flower.
Do you know what a daisy looks like?
It's like a black center and the yellow flowers.
It's a circle.
Those of you yelling, it looks like a flower.
Wait, Mr. Brovicast.
It's like a circle.
Yeah.
I'm not waiting, Shaw.
Gonna say it looks like a white thing on the outside.
Yeah,
I kind of had the colors in
In the cartoons, these are the ones that the people be like, he loves me not.
Oh,
pluck
those,
little
yeah.
petals off.
Little.
That's the daisy.
He loves me not, I'll blow his up.
And then, old man's looking glasses.
Old man!
Oh yeah.
Reading glasses.
So, here's what normally throws people off, and this is where the whole figuring out how evidence in the poem comes in.
Yeah.
Library glasses.
Daisies are a type of dandelions, a type of
Plant.
daisies, type of
Flower.
Old man's looking glasses.
You. Glass.
See how it's setting up a pattern?
What just happened?
Oh, what happened?
Sorry, home children, we had a issue. We're taking care of issue. Anyway, back to here as we move on from our issue. It's setting up a pattern. So you have type of plant, type of plant.
Type of plant.
So old man's looking glasses, we're not talking about clumsy old people. It's just going to be another type of flower.
That's an old man's
Wait,
That
really?
doesn't look like glass.
I don't
Doesn't look like an old man
I thought they
looking
were like the
glasses.
library glasses.
I don't name them. I'm just explaining to you what it is.
So,
You can write John J. Garden. He's the one who named all flowers.
What is it?
Someday I can't wait to get to my advanced class.
it's an alliteration.
How many flowers did he name?
So far, there's only been 5 discovered.
Oh my god.
What?
Giving up. Rook, our next thing to figure out. So,
Flower.
flower.
Reed. Bubbles.
Hang on. I'm going to use the E word.
Leaves.
Evidence. Where are we going to use our evidence to
Because
prove?
it's been flower. Wait.
So it says flower. Is there any evidence to disprove a rook is a flower?
It could
Yes,
be
it's the
like,
chest
it could
because
be
it says
like
it's
a
croaky.
rook
Wally?
from chess.
it does say flapping, which would probably imply it's not a flower. I would agree.
It's a cherry.
Bryce Lee?
It's a leaf.
Why is it a leaf? Where's your evidence?
Because it says eat again and you already ate a leaf. So
And
that's easy.
I could see that one. I eat and swallow and eat
Or it
nicely.
could be the chess piece.
It could be the chess piece.
Or
I would.
the flower just has big leaves.
Or it could.
Or, no, not leaves.
Petal leaves.
So
This is croaking though.
I'm joking.
it does say croaking. I would agree.
So it's a frog.
Is there any evidence that it is not a frog?
No.
Yes.
He
Wait.
eats it.
Caleb?
Because it says flap.
It does say flat, which
Frogs
would
are
probably mean it's unless you're going to throw the frog really high, and then the frog might do some flapping, but then it's going to do some splatting.
It's a
It's
bird.
probably
It's a bird.
not.
It's a bird.
It's a play.
There you go.
No, it's a play. It's a crow.
This is where, again, evidence and poem to help you. The fact that it has the flapping and the croaking, it's not going to be the frog. It's not going to be a plant or a flower.
The
It's
cob.
not going to be Grapple who keeps talking over me, even though we have a dream someday. But we're going to get there, Grapple. It's okay. And then, it's like a raven or a crow. It's a big blackbird. Jay Lee.
I realized that it wasn't a frog because croaking can also be like dying.
It could. Shocker that you brought that up. Bryce Lee.
So it's eating a bird.
I don't know. Let's take a look at the poem. So we have up there, see, rooks flap croaking across the lane. I eat and swallow and eat again. So we're going to pretend for a moment that you guys are a caterpillar. Now, I know it's a big stretch because you're like, Mr. Broviak, I could never be that smart. But we're going to pretend for a second.
How is it a stretch if you're getting tinier?
Right, you keep working. On that one, if bird goes across and you are a... Oh, there's my speaker. Bird goes by and you were smart caterpillar, which again is a stretch
You
for
would hide under
some of you. What is it you would do,
Jump at it.
Grapple?
Hide under the leaf.
Most of you would hide under a leaf because you're smart. Does our caterpillar hide?
No.
What does he do?
He eats.
Does he...
Eat the bird.
Do you think the caterpillar is...
Wait, no, I meant he eats the leaf.
Eating
That's what I said. That's what I said.
bird?
Yeah. Corey, you might want to get your hearing checked.
Yeah. So yes, in this case, caterpillar continues to eat. He just shakes his little caterpillar fists up at the sky, all
Who's gonna eat
12 of them, and he's like, I'm gonna keep on eating.
So the dog is the size of a fight.
That was our first danger.
You're scary.
Then we get to stanza 3. Stanza 3!
Oh, it's raining.
We get to introduce another danger into Caterpillar Town. Who is my stanza 3 person?
Me.
Go for it, stanza 3.
Here come raindrops, helter skelter. I munch and nibble unregarded. Hawthorn leaves are juicy and firm. I'll mind my business. I'm a good worm.
Thank you, Corey. Did I not have you read stanza 2? Did I not have you read stanza 2 again?
No.
He stanza one.
Yeah, because I was one.
Oh yeah, that's because we only did that one time. You got lucky. Here come raindrops, helter skelter. I munch and nibble unregarding. Hawthorn leaves are juicy and firm. I'll mind my business. I'm a good worm. From here, we're going to get into our next danger in Caterpillar Town. But I'm going to stop here because I have one more thing I want to do with you. So we're going to come back to this point tomorrow. And we're going to give Cora a chance to read stanza 3 all over again tomorrow.
Yay.
And then our 4, 5, and 6 people will get a chance to go. And we'll get to pick on new volunteers to stand up and do speechy
Please,
thing.
I want to choose
Now
someone.
that
Don't
we know what
volunteer
standing
anymore.
up speechy
Well, I'm
thing
not
is.
volunteering.